Now I've got a nice blunt 230. Now the reason it's blunt is because I don't want to point on it, otherwise it would be pinging off. And when we're doing an area, a solid area like this, you don't want anything, any points on it. Although there will be one by the time I'm finished, because I'm using the side. And you can say goodbye to this, you won't be seeing this one again. That's the end of my 230. I can just about handle this. On something like this, it's not so important. See, I'm talking just solid. Now you see lots and lots of dust. Many of you have asked me about dust. Well, there's dust for you. Lots of dust. And that's got to be blended in to the picture with your finger. And the vast majority of it will disappear. Rubbed in to the paper. There we are, look, virtually none left. Just a little bit, you might be able to just see a little bit of dust on there. That's the only, I can't rub that. That'd have to be hoovered up right all. And we rub it into the water above so we get a nice finish. And we've got to be careful down here because we want to leave this. Okay, now we got our blue. Just put up a little bit of blue. Okay, a little bit of blue. And this is going to be a little, obviously a bit nearer than the water above there, so we can be perhaps a little bit more ambitious with our colours. And blue. Now be careful here because we're going to be getting close to the shore. And I always put a bit of grey in. Okay, a little bit of grey as well, just to mean it's not going to be too bright. Okay, great. Okay, and I think I'll just rub that. Let's see how that looks. Beautiful. You see that base underneath? It's so rewarding when you get that lovely feel with your finger. Look at that, blending beautifully in. Okay, now we need some more. Now we need our 1.5, what was it, 1.5, God, 1.53. I have to remember the colours, it's but anyway, 1.53 now. Trick is to make it look like that, because we can't have a water dividing in the middle. Ease off as we get to there, and I'm going to put a little bit of green in because the green has a great influence here as well. And this is what works very well with 1.53, and a little bit more strength down here. And the other colour we are using down here, which is a stronger colour, is 151, which is a darker blue. And that will be, okay, see how that looks. We're virtually there, folks, aren't we? We've got our link up now very well, so all of that goes together well. Okay. Don't want to spoil the plane now, do I? After all that work I put on it. Now we need more. This is I'm going to put some 151. Make sure I've got the right colour number. We have 151 in. And this time we need just a little bit of design in there. We don't want to make it quite so. There you go, see the idea? And once again we've got license, although I'm following pictures, some reference pictures that I've got, it's looking absolutely nothing like it, because what we're doing now is using a license to create some interest press down the bottom. We've got a corner, you see, and we don't want a duff corner. We want it to be a corner that's going to have some kind of design in it. So now we bring in the green. And you see this colour that I've swept around here? Let me see it better. Look, coming around here. Well, we continue that. And that can link up with this one here. Like that. So let me show you how that works. You put your finger, you drag it from there, and drag it round, like that. See? Get it? And so it's like a continuance. If it doesn't work first time, it will definitely work the second time, because you just keep adding until you get it looking like that. That looks good. So that comes from there. And these are really what we could say they're currants, aren't they? They're just currants that are. And that looks really nice now. Now we want to bring in the two colours. We want to link the two colours together. So I'm going to link it with green. Put a little bit of green in here. Now the blue that I used before, which was 140, so we'll bring that in. So this is the colour I've used here quite successfully to create. So we've used a little bit of that colour. I'm flicking this board around, but I'm hoping that you're not losing it. And down this bottom part, I do like this bottom area, so I'm going to just make it just a little darker. In fact, I'm going to darken it still further with just a little touch of 181. I've got to find 181, here it is. Because 181 Payne's Grey will give us this, where you can see, look, just an extra richness and an extra weight to the picture. It won't be very much, but it will be enough to give us just a little bit of interest down the bottom. Sweep it round, so we don't want it to look, I want it to come round so it sweeps in the same way. Now that's beautiful. Beautiful. See that little extra corner, extra weight in the corner. Okay, what was I talking about up here? Putting the blue and 169, which we used quite a bit. We can bring that down in here, and then we can use our green. This is shaping up really nice. I hope that that's going to work really well. And we used a little ivory, didn't we, in there? So we bring just a little bit of ivory in to represent what's going on underneath. Yeah, like that. And now I'm just going to turn it round, folks. So I'm sorry you're going to lose it completely now, but what I want to do is to use my finger and drag it. You can't, sometimes you've got to do it this way. I'm not sure you can see. And I'm dragging it back. You see the problem? See, you leave areas, but I feel I've got more control over it that way. So we now need to just put a little bit of, I'm nearly there. I really don't want to push my boat out too far here. As long as I've got the colour, I can always return to it at a later date, but I love this colour. You see, you can't, I don't know if you can pick it up on the screen, just a little thing. This is 169. See how interesting that becomes. Just put in, it just represents the sort of rocks underneath the water. But very, be careful here. Let me see if I can get it so that it just shows up underneath. Good, excellent. Now what we can do now is we can just put some white. No, that's going to have to be sharpened, folks. That's not sharp enough, so later on you'll have a bit of pinging going on. You see what I'm trying to do is just put a little bit of interest in there like that. That's great. But I will have to sharpen it up to make it work properly. But there's our water done. Looks superb, doesn't it? See, it follows the line of the plane as well. I might add a little bit more interest in here. I'll just show you what I probably would do. Something like that. And then that would be, I can use my colour shaper actually there. With my finger, because I obscure it with my finger, and you can just put the colour shaper and just quite a little bit of colour in it. And if it doesn't work, you just get your finger on it and you just rub it back out again. But that's what I would have done with my finger. But just good. So we've got a bit of design in there. Right, folks, we're nearly there now. All I've got to do is this bit. But in a way, that's going to be quite difficult because we're looking close, the closest we can get to anything in the picture, except for the plane. And we've got to make that a little bit more detailed than that, really. But it's looking good. I'll let you have a long view of it now and see how it all relates.